we like to play a little game called Keep, Burn, Change.
Yeah.
So you can think back to any part of your experience teaching, whether it's during COVID or prior. And for me, like there's a lot of things I want to rip up and redo. But there's some things that are valuable, there's some things that aren't, there's some things that need tweaks. What's your keep, burn, change list?
Yeah. And
Oh my goodness.
I'll say I mean, the one that's the change is sort of like you sort of threw it away, but you feel like it's not a bad idea. It's something that's come about since being on this whole pandemic. Like an idea that's come up is like, it's not that bad of an idea. Maybe I could, add some lyrics to it and it'll make it into a song or whatever the case may be. It's something that you feel like wasn't the best idea, but in retrospect, you take it back. And obviously, something that you burn is not a phoenix. It ain't rising back. It's done.
Well,
You
my
you
things
don't
would
want
be
it back.
more than things that I would say, maybe I could keep that. They were things that we teachers thought were working, and somebody administratively decided to change it.
Mm.
We used to do a lot of simulations, like when we read Roll of Thunder, and we did the whole family, the sharecropping families, and we grew crops, and they had a budget, and all of this really deep work while reading this novel. And then somebody decided that it was more important to learn how to write 5 different kinds of essay, and you know, so the art of teaching was whittled down, watered down. I remember that because I don't draw well, and I spent like the whole summer drawing these posters for like the general store, and this is the school, and it took me forever. And I laminated them, and then somebody said, "Oh, we don't need to do it that way anymore." It wasn't a teacher that thought that, because the kids loved the experience.
I did it
So
with
that was taken from us. I would have kept that. Yeah, it was wonderful. They loved it. We loved it. It was fun to teach,
right.
and they learned a lot in that novel because they became those characters, and it
And I
was
remember,
really deep. Yeah, that was the year we had Nolan was in our class, and Nolan is just about to graduate. So I think that might have been the last year that we got to do it. What would I keep? Keep is like well, that's what I would have kept, but I didn't have a choice. What would I change? I would change the fact that the United States public education system is still
mm,
top down. We've got a lot of people making decisions for us, what we do and how we do it, some of whom have never been in the position that we're in. There are administrators that have not been in the classroom or haven't been in the classroom since, abacus and stylus and clay, but they know what's better for us and our kids now. I'm the chairperson of the superintendent's faculty advisory committee because he didn't feel like he was hearing enough about what teachers needed. And so, we're meeting, and things that we mentioned to him got changed, man. He did stuff. He heard us and he changed stuff. And then COVID hit, and we haven't had one meeting since then. Or maybe one. I think we had one in June to talk about what we're going to do this year, and we haven't met at all. So top down, it's dead, man. It doesn't work. The stakeholders are down here going,
yeah.
"What are you talking about?" So that's what I would change. I don't know I don't know which ones I hit and which
Right.
ones I didn't. Did I do keep? What
That's
I
it.
didn't do burn?
Something that changed, and you're like, I'm glad it's gone, and I don't think it should ever come back.
It hasn't gone yet, but I would burn the value and the weight that standardized
Mm,
tests are giving, because we don't do those simulations, those family groups anymore, so that we can teach 5 different kinds of essay because it's on that test. What are they learning? They're not learning how to make good decisions. They're learning a formula. It's not even like there's after 5th grade, there isn't even any creative writing again until high school. By that time, there's probably 8 kids in that
yeah.
class. So I would do away with, I'd like to, if it had my way, I would do away with standardized tests altogether. But since I don't have it my way, I would look at the way they're given, when they're given, and the weight and the authority. It's not even weight, the authority that they're given. You took this test, you got this, you're going to be in that
Yeah.
class.
It's a very good point. I think to end with standardized testing, use that as a weapon in a sense. You know, after we got disconnected from our kids and had to go all virtual, I'm sorry, and learn how to do virtual learning right from the start. You know, they were like clamoring for this personal connection, connect with your kids personally. And like here you are talking about, well, you know, the weapon you guys used against us was standardized testing, which took away
Yep.
all a personal connection. And now you need me to do something personalized. And that means I have to, the skilled people, the skilled teachers, the people who have a long book, I got to go back to my recipe book and find out things to connect with these young people again through a screen, and also find a way to bring in video and visual and so on and so forth.
Ooh,
And come to find out, it wasn't A, B, C, D, none of the above that was doing it. So, it speaks directly to that. And you brought up the marketplace. I remember the Phoenician marketplace we did, and the kids got dressed up and turned that
yes,
whole hallway into
yes,
trading and
yep,
this and
yep,
that. And it was
yep,
like it was probably like it was such organized chaos that like it looked like a marketplace. Like these kids,
yeah,
and it wasn't like people wasn't fooling around. I remember there was no discipline issues because they were sort of like, yeah, I'm playing the role. I'm a warrior. I'm
yeah,
a trader.
they were
I'm
into it.
an artisan. So
Oh, we did
those
that
things.
in ancient Egypt too, didn't we?
Yeah,
Yes,
kids were
yes.
Did the
they were
We
rooms.
did it for every civilization. We did
yeah.
something like that, some version of that for every civilization we studied. And if you go to those kids in 12th grade today, if you ask them, what grade did you get in 6th grade math? I don't know. But do you remember the ancient Egyptian? And we had the full-size tomb in Roger's room.
Yeah,
I bet they'll remember that.
yeah,
I bet they'll remember that. I remember my first principal saying to me, it's not about just what information you can give them, it's about making memories.
Mhm.
Nobody remembers chapter 7 from Go Math, but I bet they remember Roll of Thunder, Hear My Cry.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
So,
Yeah, that's okay. So that's my spiel. Thank you all very much for having me.
yeah.
That was
Thank you for
right on
sharing.
point. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. I enjoyed this very much. This was worth staying awake for.